Jai Jinendra Pranam. Patan is a place which is located in the state of Gujarat. While today, Patan is considered as a small town dotted with over 100 Jain temples. It once was the capital of Gujarat and center of power for over 500 years. Most of these kings patronized Jainism. In this video, let's relive the glory of Patan. During the 7th century, Panchasar was the capital of the Chawda ruler Jaishikari. In 697 AD, Panchasar was attacked by King Bhuvad of Kannauj and Jaishikari was killed in the battle. His wife, who was pregnant, fled and later gave birth to Vanraj while in exile. During his childhood, Acharya Shilgun Suriji protected him and also educated him. Later, Vanraj Chawda founded the city of Patan in 745 AD. After establishing the kingdom, Acharya Shilgun Suriji remained as the divine guide of Vanraj through his lifetime. Vanraj constructed the Jain temple of Sri Panchasara Parsanath and Pratishtha was done by Acharya Shilgun Suriji's disciple Acharya Shri Chandra Suriji. These temples exist till date in Patan. The bravery of Vanraj is evident from the fact that he built the state capital on the plains of North Gujarat. No hilltops, no huge fortifying. It was said that during his tenure, Western and Northern India had no similar power axis. The Chawda dynasty lasted for over 250 years. In 942 AD, Mula Raja overthrew Samantisima, the last of the Chawdas, to establish the Chalukya, also known as the Solanki dynasty. Mula Raja's later successor was Bhimdev. The famous Dilwara temples and Modera Sen temple were built during Bhimdev Solanki's reign. The construction of Rani Ki Vav is attributed to his queen Udayamati. Later, Vimal Mantri, who was the army chief, was appointed as the governor of Chandravati. There he was greatly influenced by the religious lectures of Acharya Shri Dharmago Suriji of Vidyadhar Gacha. Vimal Mantri wanted to atone the sins committed during wars. So the Acharya advised him to construct Jain temples in Abu Tirth and promote its glory. Vimal Mantri commenced the erection of a new temple known as Vimal Vasai. He spent 18 crore and 53 lakhs rupees and constructed a grand temple having 54 Dev Kulikas and intricate carving on marbles. The shrine was installed in 1032 AD. Bhimdev himself was highly influenced by Acharya Shri Shanti Suri, whom he bestowed him with the titles of Kavindra and Vadi Chakravati. Acharya Shri is the composer of the famous Bruhat Shanti. King Bhimdev's maternal uncle Drona took Jain Diksha and eventually became Acharya. Through his lectures and teachings, Acharya Shri Dronacharya influenced many Chauhans and Solankis to accept Jainism. Karna succeeded his father Bhimavan and is credited with the laying the foundation of the Karnavati city, identified with the modern city of Ahmedabad in Gujarat. Karnadev was highly impressed by Maladhari Acharya Shri Abhaydev Suriji. During Karna's reign, a golden kalash was placed on the Jain shrine in Ranathambore and Shakunika Vihar in Bharuch. The famous Antriksh temple in present Maharashtra was also constructed in his time. Karnadev was succeeded by his son Siddharaj Jaisin. He was a devotee of Acharya Shri Hemchandra Suriji. Acharya Shri had inspired 35,000 families into accepting Jainism. Siddharaj Jaisin bestowed Acharya Shri with the title of Kalikal Sarvagna. In 1114 AD, Siddharaj, after defeating King Rakhengar of Saurashtra with the help of Sajjan, appointed him as a Dandanayak of Saurashtra. Sajjan was a strict Jain. Once, in the royal court of Siddharaj, a learned Pandit named Devabodhi presented a slok, which even after 6 months, no one was able to decipher its meaning. On king's request, Acharya Shri Vadidev Suri explained the meaning of the slok, hearing which Devabodhi was surprised and the king rejoiced. Another time, king, being very pleased with the Acharya Shri, offered 1 lakh gold coin and 12 villages. However, Acharya Shri declined. With this wealth, king constructed a marvelous jinalaya in Patan, which was known as Rajvihar. During Siddharaj Jaisingh's reign, Mantri Sajjan renovated Girnar Tirth. Kumar Pal succeeded Siddharaj. Kumar Pal is one of the most revered kings in Jainism. So what is his story? In 1119 AD, Siddharaj learnt from the fortune teller that Kumar Pal will succeed him as the king. So he wanted to get Kumar Pal killed. Knowing Siddharaj's intention, Kumar Pal fled away from Patan and lived in exile for 24 years. At last, when Siddharaj expired in 1143 AD, the kingdom of Chalukyas reached its zenith during Kumar Pal's reign. Kumar Pal learnt Sanskrit, poetry, Kosh and created Atmanindadva Trinashika. Under the influence of his guru, Pujya Acharya Shri Hemchandra Suri, he gave up 7 addictions: eating meat, drinking alcohol, etc. In 1152 AD, he proclaimed observation of Amari, that is, non-violence in his kingdom. In 1160 AD, he accepted all the great 12 vows meant for Jain Shravaks. After accepting Jainism, he spent 14 crores gold coins in 14 years for Sadharmik Bhakti. He constructed 21 Jain libraries, 1444 new Jinalaya, renovated 1600 temples and organized Charipalit Sangh to various tirths 7 times. In 1170 AD, he arranged a Charipalit Sangh Yatra to Shatrunjay Tirth. In 1165 AD, he constructed a magnificent temple on Taranga Hills. The Pratishtha was done by Acharya Shri Hemchandracharya. Kumar Pal's nephew Ajay Pal succeeded Kumar Pal. He was a despot and a wicked soul. He destroyed the Jinalaya constructed and renovated by Kumar Pal and killed many devout Jains. Ajay Pal became the guest of hell after the 6 years of misrule. After the death of Ajay Pal, his son Moolraj became king in his childhood. In Vikram Samvat 1234, when Moolraj was still a child, Muhammad Ghori invaded Gujarat from Ghazni through Multan in Sindh. With the bravery and intelligence of Minister Sajjan, Ghori was defeated in the battle. After some time, King Bal Moolraj expired and his younger brother Bhimdev succeeded to the throne. However, his period of rule witnessed social disorder, chaos and political instability. The Mahamandal kings became powerful in his reign. Vastupal and Tejpal were the famous and powerful chief ministers of one of his Mahamandaleshwar. Muhammad's general and later Sultan of Delhi, Qutbuddin Aibak, sacked the city between 1200 and 1210, and it was destroyed by Alauddin Khilji in 1298. The modern town of Patan later sprung up near the ruins of Anailwara. During 1304 to 1411, first Patan was the Suba headquarters of Delhi Sultanate and the capital city of the Gujarat Sultanate after the collapse of the Delhi Sultanate at the end of the 14th century. A new fort was built by these Subas, a large portion of which, along with a few of the gates, is still intact. The old fort of the Hindu kingdom is nearly vanished and only a wall can be seen on the way from Kalka to Rani Ki Vav. In 1411, Sultan Ahmad Shah moved the capital to Ahmedabad. So, this was the glorious history of Patan, which is extracted from the book Jain Itihas, written by Param Pujya Acharya Shri Kul Chandra Suriji. And for more interesting and amazing facts, you can visit at medium.com/munispeaks. Now, this is Anjan Jain signing off. Take care, stay safe. Thank you.